Hello and namaskar. Welcome to this very special show on IIPA, Stalwarts Speak. I'm Rakhee Bakshee. Here, as we know, we talk to bright minds, we try to learn from them, and we try to, through this interaction, also get you a lot of insights and perspectives. And here we have another bright mind, Mr. Shreshth Anupam. He's an assistant secretary, of course, and he's the 19th rank of 2020 batch of IAS. And we are going to talk to him now about his experience. Welcome, Shreshth, to this show, first of all.
Thank you, Rakhee.
Tell us, first of all, about your current role, as I'm asking many of your colleagues here as well. How does it feel to be in India and to be a young civil servant and to be handling responsibility in a very fresh manner?
It's obviously a momentous task. Getting into civil services itself is a dream for millions of aspirants in a country like India. And I consider myself extremely fortunate that I could clear the examination at a young age and that I could get my home cadre as well. I'm from Bihar and I got Bihar. Currently I'm working as assistant secretary in DOPT, and DOPT is the department that handles everything related to our cadres, our transfers, our promotions, almost everything. So it feels good to know the inside of the system, and I'm enjoying my role very much. There is a lot to learn. I have been allotted to Mission Karm Yogi for these 3 months for my individual project. And Mission Karm Yogi, as we know, will be the next big thing in capacity building of the civil servants. So I'm pretty excited about my...
Tell us, our viewers, a little bit more about Mission Karm Yogi and what it would really entail for larger good.
So Mission Karm Yogi is basically a capacity building framework, which is not just being envisaged for the IAS or Group A officers, but for the entire, let's say, gamut of government officials. So the program is basically structured so that people can not just get experience and training through the offline mode, which is more prevalent now, but they can also get trained online through courses which will be specifically designed based on their role, their competencies. So the shift is to move from a rule-based system to a role-based system, and to basically match the requisite skills which are required for a particular post to the competencies of a person who is going to hold that post. And if there is a mismatch or if there is a gap, then there will be courses, there will be online, offline training modules so that that gap can be filled and people can suit their roles better. People can perform their roles better.
So yeah, that's nice to know. What do you think that how we are talking about citizen centricity of governance, but easier said than done. I mean, it is a task actually in front of us. How do we really do it the best way, or trying to do it?
I think whenever I ask myself this question, so I'm always reminded of Gandhiji's talisman that the last man standing, unless we see to the needs of the last standing man being fulfilled, then I think citizen centricity is at the very core, the very heart of good administration, good governance. And we need to constantly keep reminding ourselves that it is the citizens for whom we are being given a very important position. It's a position of immense responsibility. So we need to differentiate between the power aspect and the responsibility aspect, and we need to keep reminding myself, I think, that it is ultimately for the larger good of the citizens of this country that we have to work. And if I'm not able to deliver, then there are like millions of people who sat for this examination who could not clear. There might be someone better out there who is more willing to do this work, who might be more efficient. And I think I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm extremely fortunate that I have been given this immense responsibility, and I have to take this responsibility seriously. I have to have this citizen centricity in my mind at all times.
Okay, let me take you back, like I've done with others as well, to your exam period, and say that how did you really prepare? Everybody has a different technique, different tactic to it all. And how did you study for UPSC Civil Services examination?
So I started preparation during my college days itself. In my third year, I took coaching for my GS papers, and in the last year, the final year, I took coaching for optional. And however, I didn't feel that the coaching did me much good. probably because of two reasons. Firstly, because I was in college, so I could not focus that much on what was being taught in the coaching, and also because I think ultimately civil services examination is about self-study. You cannot clear this examination without, putting in at least a minimum amount of self-study, and that is, I think, what got me through in the end. Talking about my preparation, like specifics of
preliminary examination,
Exactly.
mains, interview. So
Yeah.
how did you really look at three of them?
Yeah, so talking about the specifics of preparation, for the prelims examination, I went through the standard books multiple times, because standard books, I believe, are the backbone of UPSC preparation. NCERT and standard books, they if you have like really gone through them well, if you have memorized the facts and have understood the concepts well, then the basics of history, geography, civics, polity, environment, economy, they would be clear, and they would help you to build upon. The base would be very good, I believe. So for prelims, I went through standard textbooks multiple times. For current affairs, I referred to newspapers and monthly magazines. So that pretty much took care of the prelims part. Prelims, however, is a very dicey examination, and most of the people, they can't clear it. It has become such an, I would say, it has become an enigma in, to say it, And for mains, I believe mains requires a more structured preparation, in a way that in mains you have to write 20 questions in 3 hours, and it's an examination that tests multiple things. It tests your ability to think on your feet. There will be questions where you might have heard one or two terms, or you might have just have a little bit of idea what the question is asking about, but like apart from that you won't have much to write about, but still you have to write, because if you don't, then there are people who will guess, like who will either think on their feet, who will make something up, and they'll write, and you will be then left behind in the race. So
there are two things also as to whether did you work before and when you got into
no, I graduated in 2018.
Okay, and then you sat
yeah,
for
so
this.
I gave my first attempt in 2018, in which I could not clear prelims, and in 2019 I gave my second attempt, in which I thankfully
So
got
people
through.
who would be watching you, or people who are also preparing at the same time, could also think how to really do it the best way, where I should feel motivated, I should actually be successful. Everybody goes through that anxiety period. Everybody thinks whether I'll be able to crack. If not, what happens, all that. What would you say to them?
I would say one thing. I believe that UPSC civil services examination preparation is a very personal journey. Like before starting my preparation, I went through videos, blogs of multiple toppers. There are like 700 to 800 people who clear the examination every year, and you will find that no two people have the exact same strategy. Everyone has at least a bit of modification, at least some bit of personal elements in their strategy. So I believe that the preparation is ultimately a game about knowing your strengths and weaknesses. How well do you know yourself? How well do you play to your strengths and your weaknesses? So for people who are out there looking for motivation, or for people who are out there who are, confused as to what should be the best strategy, what should be the correct course of preparation, I would just say that you have to decide what preparation strategy suits you or works best for you. I did it, and it reaped rewards for me, but the same preparation strategy might not work for someone else.
And how about interview? Anything that you'd like to share? I mean, in the sense, how does one specially prepares for interviews?
Interview again now is a game of confidence, because it's a conversation. First of all, I think the most important thing that one has to keep in mind at that time is that it's a conversation where you are participating. It's not a question and answer session. That's why they don't just call it interview. They call it the personality test.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the knowledge which you display in your answers. It's about your overall personality, and assessment of your personality, and how well do you conduct yourself there. You should be polite. I believe that you should be a bit polite. You should have a smile on your face which shows that you have a pleasant demeanor, and you should be confident in your overall outlook. Like, you should answer confidently where you know.
Okay.
Where if you don't know the answer, And if you think that you might be able to take a guess, then you can politely ask themselves, so may I take a guess? And if you don't know, then it's okay. Like, it's not a test of your knowledge. So you can say, sorry sir, I don't know. I'll read it. I'll read it up or something like that. And if you are cordial in your demeanor, if they believe that, if they see someone who is, I think, I believed that these were the things that led to me getting good marks in interview. So I think
that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So one question about Vision India 2047, 25 years hence.
I believe that 25 years from now, India would have changed a lot. And I would, talking specifically about Vision India at the rate of 2047, my view, I think that digital governance is the next big thing. And in 2047, we would see e-governance and playing out at its best. Like, everything would be online. The good parts of the interface between office, the bureaucracy and people at large, that would be there. But the routine work, the red tapeism which is there, which comes due to the large amount of paperwork, the movement of files, I believe that that will be sorted away to a great extent. And I believe that will be the future.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you, Shreshth Anupam. Your name says that you are the best, but we wish you all the very best here as well at IIPA. And that was Shreshth Anupam that we were talking to here at IIPA. Thanks for watching this show and keep watching us again.